An international conference on the application of geotechnical engineering in infrastructure entitled Geotec Hanoi 2016 took place on November the 24th and the 25th in Hanoi. This was the third time the meeting had been organized in Vietnam, following two successful events in 2011 and 2013. The conference included five principal themes, namely deep foundations, underground construction and tunneling, ground improvement for infrastructure projects, coastal geotechniques for climate change, monitoring, inspection and maintenance. 80 reports were presented after being selected from hundreds of papers by scientists from 31 countries and territories such as Vietnam, Japan, the United States, Spain and Switzerland. The highlight of this year's event was coastal geotechniques for climate change. The theme is regarded as highly important for Vietnam, which is badly in need of infrastructure development and one of the countries suffering the most from global climate change.
Ứng dụng các công nghệ địa kỹ thuật vào các giải pháp kỹ thuật xây dựng ở Việt Nam là rất là cần thiết hiện nay. Thì khi mà áp dụng như thế thì nó có một cái sự đồng bộ thì nó sẽ mang đến được cái hiệu quả về kinh tế, về môi trường và cũng như là cái sự chất lượng của công trình, các cái công trình đi kèm.
Geotechnics refers to the use of scientific methods and engineering principles to the acquisition, interpretation, and use of materials of the earth. Geotechnics has many applications, such as building reliable foundations for factories, high-rise buildings, traffic, and sea dike projects. Geotec Hanoi 2016 is considered a great opportunity for Vietnamese scientists, government officials, and business people to approach advanced technologies in building infrastructure in line with the government's goals of speediness, efficiency, and sustainability. Hello and welcome to Sharing Vietnam. Vietnam is one of the countries suffering the most from global climate change. In our program today, we'll explore geotechnical solutions for Vietnam to develop climate-resilient infrastructure. Our guest today is Professor Kazuya Yasuhara from Ibaraki University of Japan. Hello, Professor. Thank you very much for joining us today. Well, first of all, could you tell us a little bit about your experience in Vietnam?
Generally speaking, my field is this geotechnical engineering. But recently, I have been working on the particular adaptation or response measures against the climate change-induced disaster. We have been working together with the Vietnamese colleague in Vietnam National University, Hanoi University of Science, and also researchers and engineers in Water Resource University in Ho Chi Minh, because your country owns the very long coast. So some are common in every coast in Vietnam, but they have different issues as well.
How do you describe the importance of geotechnical engineering for the development of Vietnam?
Geotechnical engineering is important to find the better or best solution to reduce such impact and influence caused by the climate change. For example, in Vietnam, severe erosion at the coast. We need some response measure to constructing concrete structures. However, this is very important. There's not a big enough recognition from not only from citizens, mass media, but also by the other engineering field, scientific fields.
Well, this is the third time you have attended the Geotech conference in Hanoi. So what do you think of the difference of this year's event?
In last two conferences, there are not subject related to climate change. I think this conference, third conference, is the first opportunity for us to introduce how climate change has given the influences to the people and to the local area and to the nation.
The coastline in Hải Hậu district, Nam Định province, is one of the most severely eroded areas in Vietnam recently. Around 17.2 kilometers of the coastline has been eroded, with sea encroachment reaching an average of 14.5 meters inland every year. The erosion has taken away nearly 4 million square meters of living and farming land.
Nếu như mà biển nó nở mà cái lấy đất lấy cát ở đây đi là rất khó khăn cho bà con. Nó dần dần tức là mất cái bãi. Cái bãi tức là nó mất cái chỗ bà con đậu. Vì nó nở nó mất cái bãi bà con đậu cho nên là dần dần bà con rất khó làm. Đấy, cho nên là về cái mùa sóng gió này là nó không còn có cái chỗ đậu nữa.
According to Professor Kazuya Yasuhara, he and his colleagues are reinforcing the local dikes with a new solution. They are using T-groins consisting of hollow concrete blocks. The solution has been successfully applied in Japan and is considered a potential tool to deal with erosion in Vietnam's coastal areas. In addition, the new structure is much cheaper than the traditional solid concrete blocks.
Muốn có giải pháp tốt, tối ưu mà lại giá thành lại phù hợp với cái điều kiện kinh tế của Việt Nam thì một trong những cái vấn đề quan trọng nhất là chính là việc thu thập số liệu để đưa vào làm mô hình nghiên cứu. Mô hình nghiên cứu đây muốn chính xác mà muốn phù hợp với thực tế thì lại phải cần có càng nhiều số liệu thực tế càng tốt. Thế thì bắt buộc cần phải có cái sự kết hợp của các nhà quản lý, các cái nhà khoa học và các đơn vị thiết kế và các đơn vị xây dựng để cùng nhau tập hợp lại số liệu để đưa ra giải pháp. Ví dụ thông qua các cái việc trao đổi chuyên môn, bên Nhật Bản hiện nay họ đang hỗ trợ chúng ta rất mạnh mẽ về các cái giải pháp về kè bờ biển mềm, về các giải pháp tiên tiến.
Not only Hải Hậu, but most of Vietnam's over 3,200 kilometers of coastline is affected by erosion. Experts say the situation results from rising sea level caused by climate change, sinking land, or both of the two factors. The correct forecast and effective application of geotechnical solutions are regarded as the key to protect Vietnam's coastal infrastructure in the coming decades. What do you think of the progress and shortcomings of Vietnam in developing climate-resilient infrastructure?
One of two successful examples. One is that in order to reduce the erosion, for example, in high coast, government, I think the central or local government constructed the so-called headland structures, a T type of structure. I think you know. I think that is one of the successful, responsible measures. In order to carry out impact assessment or prediction of the future trend of the influence caused by the climate change, we need data. Special data such as the temperature, sea level rise, magnitude of the typhoon, and such kind of information we need, set of the information we need. Otherwise we cannot predict. If we have a very good simulated technique, we have to put the data into the methodology or numerical analysis proposal. So therefore, we need collected or integrated data which we succeed in prediction or impact assessment. However, that's a very important issue. I'm sorry to tell you, no integration of such data has been done.
Could you share with us some experience of Japan in developing climate-resilient infrastructure, especially in coastal areas?
The Ministry of Environment, the Japanese government, has very recently noticed the importance of constructing the more resilient, more stronger infrastructure at the coast. But they think we already have made measures against the disaster, because we have, unfortunately, we have plenty of disasters. We have a typhoon, we have an earthquake, we have a severe rainfall. So the central government think we already made many responsive measures to such kind of factors, including the disasters. So they think how to increase the strength of the existing infrastructure. For example, if we will influence from sea level rise or large typhoon, all we have to do is raise the embankment.
And finally, what are your recommendations for Vietnam to better develop climate-resilient infrastructure, especially in coastal areas?
We have to collaborate from all the stakeholders, central government, local government, engineer, scientists, and private company, and citizens. And then mass media should play a role to collaborate all the stakeholders. And we have to increase the technique to collect the information and simple equipment. For example, I think you know drone. That is very useful to monitor the change of the situation in coasts and the rivers. If you compare the map data or pictures in Google Earth with the pictures taken by UFO, clearness different. UFO, the picture taken by UFO more clearer than picture.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Professor, for sharing some valuable information with us today. Well, that's all for our Sharing Vietnam today. Hopefully, with the cooperation of Japan and other international partners, Vietnam will soon be able to improve its infrastructure to better cope with climate change. Thank you so much for watching and see you again next time.